And just like that, history repeats itself. These days, it doesn't really matter what kind of premium skin Riot releases. Be it Ultimate, Mythic, Exalted, or Hall of Legends. They are all usually met with the same response. Either the stars align and you are a main of the champion and you happen to like the skin, so you are tempted to get it, or it may just seem like another expensive skin in the League of Legends ecosystem. And right now, players are kinda getting tired of it. Does this mean anything? Well, not really, or at least not that much. We learned that the players' feedback can affect Riot's decision-making if it impacts the game. Riot did prove to step in when necessary, for example in the case of the Hextech chests. But the crazy thing about expensive skins is that they are not going away, because they work. And even though the newest skin for Kai'Sa raised quite a lot of eyebrows, and people are, once again, starting movements against it, in the end, it works. Which is something you can also say about today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by boot.dev. I'll have to be honest for a second. I never really liked school. I just don't think it's the best way to learn what you're interested in. But despite that, I can use all kinds of editing softwares, and yes, I even know how to make games in Unreal Engine. And how did I do all of that? I found fun ways to learn, with one of those being boot.dev. Boot.dev is an excellent learning tool that teaches you about backend development. It teaches you how to use languages such as Python, JavaScript, or even the classic C. And it does all of this in a really cool way. Instead of just shoving courses into your face, it turns all the coding into a game. You are presented with problems, you get hints towards the solutions, and as a part of an epic RPG journey, you beat these problems with code. And by completing these coding tasks, you get XP to level up, and you unlock achievements as part of a progression system. Not to mention that they even have special events, such as bi-weekly bosses. And how do you defeat those? That's right, code. The best part is, in engineering in general, backend development is one of the highest paying jobs. So you're learning a skill that really opens up some windows for you. If this scratches an itch, there is a free demo available for all the courses. It takes you through all the introduction quests, and even as a free user you can still read all the courses, but as a member you unlock all the interactive quests as well as the progression. So go to boot.dev and try the courses for free. You can also use my code Necrit to get 25% of the first year if you choose the annual plan. And yes, of course, there is a 30-day no question asked refund policy. If you'd like to see what one can create with a little bit of self-learning, look at these fish! I coded them! And I'm proud of it. Now back to the video. So, we all know the journey we took up to this point. After Riot realized that legendary skins don't sell as much as they used to, we got some legendary skins that got priced as ultimate skins. Then Riot attempted to push forward with new cosmetics. Mainly this started with an infamous cosmetic which became known as the $200 Jhin skin, after which Riot kinda went wild on expensive skins in general. But that was all until the Faker Ahri arrived. Now, the arrival of Faker's Ahri, which got dubbed the $500 Ahri skin, even though yes, you could get it for like $450 if you bought the right bundles, marked an interesting moment in League's history. Because while Riot released a really expensive skin unlike anything we've seen before, through the right marketing and through the right targeting of the right audience, and through the right popularity of a champion, Faker's Ahri became a big success. We don't know the exact amount of dollars it made, but we know it is in many millions. Since this skin made $2.3 million in 1 hour of its own promotional stream. Which means that while the common player base was mad that Riot is now releasing skins that are not affordable by the majority of their players, the truth is that League of Legends is so massive, and especially in Asia, that even a minority potentially means millions of players. And so even when targeting the small amount of whales, it is such a significant portion of the players that it is bringing in the big bucks. On top of this, a little bit later Riot confirmed why they are pushing for these more expensive skins. They indirectly mentioned that League skins are so diluted now that most people just don't buy new skins anymore because they usually already have something else. And so in order for something to sell these days, it really needs to be special. Which is why Riot is experimenting with the mythic skins and stuff like that. But of course, we are still missing that one big point that happened during the release of Faker's Ahri. A point that is very crucial for today's video. And that is the fact that as soon as the Faker Ahri skin was announced, the players organized a boycott. People would simply stop playing Ahri altogether. And they would ban the champion in every game so that the people who bought the Ahri skin couldn't even play it. It was a masterful plan, one that worked. And the bans went all the way up to 36%. For about 4 days, after which everything went back to normal. So yes, it was once again proven that gaming boycotts don't really do anything. But now, history repeats itself. It is now exactly a year since the first incident. We are getting another $450 skin in the Hall of Legends. It is a skin for a very popular champion. And so there might be the impulse for the players to do something about the situation. So, is there? Well, I don't wanna say no, because there's something really weird going on. But first, let's have a look at some stats. So you know how the Faker Ahri skin made $2.3 million in about an hour? Well, there is a lot of factors connected to this. First of all, Faker was the face of this skin. So it was obvious the sales would be inflated only because of that. But the skin is also mostly targeting the Korean audience, with League almost being a national sport in Korea. So again, there were predictions for big sales. Which is why the $2.3 million makes so much sense. But that is also why it is gonna be really hard to compare any other skin to this one. You simply can't beat the Faker image. And so when we got the first reports about the Kai'Sa skin, it was obvious the numbers would be different. And as to how big of a difference that was? Well, within a similar time frame, that being only a few hours, using a similar format for the promotional stream, the Uzi Kai'Sa bundles made about $3.2 million. Yes, while we don't know exactly how long it took, it is over the Faker Ahri skins, which again is an estimation coming only from the Chinese audience, within about an hour. Looking back at this, it kinda makes sense why this happened. League has by far their biggest audience in China. Back in the day, China used to be multiple times the size of the other 3 regions combined. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was even bigger now. With Uzi, of course, catering towards that audience. And so once again, a year later, Riot released another expensive skin, and it instantly became a success. Though now, the perception of the normal player base is quite different. First of all, people are kinda tired of the expensive skins now. Like, we realize nothing's gonna happen to the skins since they generate a lot of revenue. So it's best to kinda just ignore their existence. But at the same time, despite what the doomers might say, we are getting more free content in League than before. We are constantly getting new game modes, new maps for both Summoner's Rift and ARAM now. We got double the cinematics, we got new comics, and of course there are also the metagames. So the money that Riot gets from these skins is technically getting reflected in the content. And so now you might be asking, well, since the Kai'Sa skin was a success again, was there even a boycott this time? Well, yes! But it's kinda just a weird thing that the community pulled off. You see, normally when gamers are doing some kind of a protest, they try to organize it, right? For example, when the Faker Ahri skin happened, people agreed that there would be a certain date from which they would start banning the champion. Which might bring up the question, did that also happen for Kai'Sa? Well, nope. Not even a little bit. So if nothing is happening in the game, where is the community acting? Well, it is acting in the place the community is seen the most. Not on Reddit, on Twitter. If you go to any official post made by the League of Legends account, if you scroll down, the comment section will look like this. No special messages left together with that, no explanation, just a single image with the expensive skins, which is now being copy-pasted by thousands. The weirdest part is, to my knowledge, no one organized this. Similar to what happened with the Hextech memes. This image just kinda took off on its own. And there is seemingly no end in sight. It's been going like this for over a week now. Now, to be fair, people did calm down when Yunara was revealed, because in general people are positive because that champion looks good. But after that we got back to that. And it's there to this day. And that is where we currently are with the new Kaisa. On the financial side, despite what people may think about the quality, it was a success because it was aimed at the right audience, which is especially enhanced by the fact that it is a Chinese audience. And so sure, if you go anywhere and you post about this skin, including on the Kaisa main subreddit, you will get downvoted. But at the end of the day, it is all part of the monetization system now. Normal players simply don't buy as much as they used to. So either League of Legends needs to find new players, which is something Riot is trying to do, or they turn towards the whales to fund their entire game, which is also something Riot is trying to do. Now, what is my view on all of this? To hell with our souls if it means that the Hall of Legends Lux can fund the MMO.